Hey everyone, welcome back to the Pixie Dust PhD YouTube channel. I'm Jacqueline and I'm filming this on Sunday, February 11, 2024. This is the month 48 or year 4 creator update. Because we're celebrating a year-long milestone, we are going to expand this creator update a little bit. As per usual, this video will contain some theme park news as well as stats and analytics for the month as well as the lifetime of the channel. Additionally, we're going to do some yearly stats and look at the year-over-year changes. Then most likely in a separate video, I'll be answering some of your questions, just getting to know everybody a little bit better and having that fun interaction. The official anniversary of the channel is February 10th, so in present time when I'm filming this, that would have been yesterday. I had hoped to film this yesterday to really do it on the anniversary, but life plans got in the way. But I'm filming one day late. You're probably seeing this about a week later or so. Just know that we are now fully into year 5. Before we get into those stats and analytics though, let's go over some high-level news. First, very excitingly, 1900 Park Fair at the Grand Floridian in Walt Disney World is reopening on April 10th. You can make reservations beginning March 5th. Now, this has been somewhat reimagined. The characters are now going to be Aladdin in his Prince Ali costume, Mirabelle, Cinderella, and then Tiana in a costume inspired by Tiana's Bayou Adventures. Previously, I believe it was Mary Poppins, Alice, the Mad Hatter, and sometimes one other for breakfast, and then for dinner, I think it was Cinderella themed, so you got the evil stepsisters as well as Prince Charming. Compared to the old 1900 Park Fair character offering then, the only one we're retaining is Cinderella. It is fun to get new characters, and I can kind of see why they picked these characters, I think. I mean, new Tiana obviously is going to be very popular, really cool. Mirabelle is hugely popular right now. A Prince Ali version of Aladdin is pretty exciting if you ask me, and then, I don't know, they just kept Cinderella around. But theming-wise, I don't really understand it at all. Previously, it felt like Cinderella was there because it was, this is your chance to meet the stepsisters and Prince Charming, and obviously you can't really have them without Cinderella, so that did make sense to me. And then the other meal with Alice and Mary Poppins was very, very English, which for being at the Grand Floridian makes sense. Now we just have a mishmash of like, Cinderella is a proper princess, and then you have sort of adventure characters when you're thinking about Aladdin and in his Prince Ali outfit, Mirabelle, so I don't really get it, to be honest. I think they'll be really popular, and it's neat that we get to meet them at a meal. You don't have to go to a park. But to me, I would take more or less this exact lineup and just plop it over at the Trattoria Al Forno breakfast, which used to be, I believe, Rapunzel and Flynn Rider, and then Ariel and Prince Eric, I think. To my knowledge, that meal is open, but the characters haven't come back. So that used to be like a Bon Voyage breakfast. Just make it like an Adventure Friends breakfast and plop these new 1900 Park Fair characters over there, and then keep the Grand Floridian characters more. I liked the English theme, honestly. And I thought it was neat that you could meet Mary Poppins there. I thought it was neat that Mad Hatter was there. I don't know, I'm not going to say this is a downgrade. I'm not entirely upset about it. I just don't understand it. Like, theming-wise, it doesn't make sense to me. Also, why retain Cinderella in this case? Because you can meet her for free in Princess Fairy Tale Hall over in the Magic Kingdom. She also obviously hosts Cinderella's Royal Table for that character meal. So, like, do we need another Cinderella meal if it wasn't going to be, well, obviously you need her in order to meet her prince and her evil stepsisters. I don't know, let me know how you feel below. I, for now, am not the most excited about this change. I do feel like the addition of Prince Ali is pretty cool, but then you could have just made that his, like, Magic Kingdom meet and greet, maybe? I don't know. Why would Prince Ali be at the Grand Floridian? And Mirabelle? Tiana? I think the theme really is what's throwing me off, but I'm happy to be wrong. Obviously, I think people are going to have a great time at this meal. I know these characters are very popular. They'll make for some awesome photos. I just think, we did lose a very highly themed character interaction and character dining experience for what feels right now to me like a mishmash. Next up in Walt Disney World news, Typhoon Lagoon, the water park, is set to reopen on March 17th. This does, of course, mean that Blizzard Beach will be closing down on March 17th for refurbishments. For the past handful of years, I think they don't tend to operate both water parks at the same time, like one's open, one's closed, and then they swap. It's Typhoon Lagoon's turn soon. Over at Disneyland, there has been kind of a lot of smaller news thanks to the Lunar New Year Festival going on, but in bigger news, the Pixar Place Hotel is now open. This is a retheme of the existing Paradise Pier Hotel. From the pictures and videos I've seen, it looks really cute, and also really excitingly, there is a Bing Bong meet and greet. Plus, a Joe Gardner character plays piano sometimes. I'm not sure if that's really a meet and greet or just like a distanced interaction, but really awesome way to put some ambiance into the hotel as well as its character ambiance. For general parks news, Disney did have its quarterly earnings call with a few announcements. If you want to see more details on that, I did make a post over on my Ko-Fi. Check out the link in the description. As a brief high note, they did say that they plan to invest $60 billion into parks and entertainment over the next 10 years, and yes, that is billion with a B. Approximately 70% of that is earmarked for capacity expanding investments across the globe, so this will not necessarily all be focused mostly at Disneyland and Disney World. It's going to be sprinkled around. My understanding of that is this will also include expansions related to the cruise line. I think Story Living by Disney might be included in this. I'm not entirely sure how this all shakes out, but don't imagine that we're getting $30 billion at Walt Disney World and $30 billion at Disneyland. But overall, it's still good to hear, and I think the fact that they're focusing on increasing capacity is great. I know some people are not excited about the word incremental being used. Obviously, it's a slow build, they're not just going to plop in a whole new gate, but, incremental change is kind of the world that I live in, so I'm used to it, and I still think it's way better than nothing. During this earnings call, they did also announce that Disney made a $1.5 billion investment to get an equity stake in Epic Games. And since that announcement, we've already seen a hype trailer to include the Disney properties in Fortnite. I'm excited to see potentially where this partnership goes beyond Fortnite. I personally don't play Fortnite, though I understand that, this is a huge thing, and getting Disney integrated into that is massive, and I'm sure they will just see gobs of money and more fans coming through, all that kind of stuff. It makes perfect sense to me, but I'm just imagining, what else could Epic Games do? And the last thing I wanted to touch on in this update from that earnings call was that we are getting Moana 2 in the Thanksgiving slot this year. We had previously heard that a Moana Disney Plus series was in development. That is apparently being pivoted to some degree to be a theatrical released movie. I think it's November 27th, 2024, but yeah, it's right in that American Thanksgiving slot. I love Moana, so I'm really excited to see where this goes. And don't forget, we are getting Inside Out 2 this year as well, and then Zootopia 2 next year, and the following year will be Frozen 3 and Toy Story 5. And arguably the largest announcement we got in the past month did not come from Disney, it came from Universal. They officially announced Epic Universe, which is the next theme park, a whole new gate opening at the Universal Orlando Resort. And there are 5 announced lands, so Celestial Park, which is not tied to any specific IP, Dark Universe, which is based around the Universal's Monsters IPs, Super Nintendo World, How to Train Your Dragon Isle of Berk, and they're expanding the wizarding world of Harry Potter out in this 3rd theme park. It will be the Ministry of Magic. This is slated to open summer 2025, and honestly, I am so excited. Universal did provide a fly-through of the concept of the Celestial Park area. It looks really cute, very cool. I'm definitely excited for that. Past that, we don't really know much officially about all of the other lands. There are a lot of strongly substantiated rumors, and if you are interested in that, I would encourage you to check out the Theme Park Stop YouTube channel. From what we know for now, most exciting to me is that there's going to be some sort of dueling coaster situation in the Celestial Park area. I was lucky enough to ride Dueling Dragons back when they dueled. It was really cool. It was such a fun added element to the ride to be racing. I really enjoy roller coasters. I'm not a stranger to having fun at the Universal theme parks. I can't wait for this new gate to open. Let me know what you think about any or all of this in the comments down below, and as always, if I missed a big news piece, please do let me know. Next, let's go on to analytics. We'll start with month 48. I pulled these from January 11th through February 10th. We actually posted quite a few proper videos this month. Notably, we didn't post any shorts though. I believe the day before this monthly period started, I did post a Cabins at Fort Wilderness video. We were speculating about points. That technically does fall outside of this monthly period, but obviously because I posted it right before the start of this monthly period, pretty much all the views it got are going to be contained in these stats. We did a 2024 Disney Vacation Club annual dues analysis, and I also posted a video of me paying my annual dues. This time I was able to pay those off with some gift cards that we had bought in the fall, as well as my measly amount of Disney rewards and then the rest on a credit card. We then had a Cabins at Fort Wilderness announcement for the sale date, as well as the points charts being released, and I posted a trip trailer for the vlog content. There was the month 47 creator update, we had a short dining review type vlog for Breadbox at Universal City Walk, and then the real Cabins at Fort Wilderness announcements happened. We finally found out the initial purchase price as well as the annual dues rate. And just recently I posted a vlog from our arrival day over at Universal Orlando back in October 2023, and a snippet of the Death Eaters performance that happens at Universal Studios Florida. Here's a look at the top content sorted by views from this month, and again, I didn't post any shorts, so everything this time is a proper video. Unsurprisingly, Disney Vacation Club content was driving most of the interactions on the channel. Similar to last month though, we are seeing a couple Disneyland Paris videos sneak in here too. And 6 of these were posted this month. The Disneyland Paris videos, of course, are getting a little bit older at this point, and there was a prior Bay Lake Tower room tour video that made it in at number 7 that's also a little bit older. Interestingly, the number 1 spot is a Cabins at Fort Wilderness video, but it is actually back from December, sort of when we first learned anything officially from Disney. But the follow-up content about the Cabins at Fort Wilderness is still doing well enough. I just think it's funny that that first one did very well this month, even though it's 2 months old. Overall, in month 48, we got over 9,000 views coming from just over 5,800 unique viewers. 1,030 of you were returning viewers. Thank you so much for coming back. This was a great month for returning viewers. I guess y'all like that DVC content, which makes sense to me given the focus of this channel. Those views resulted in almost 650 watch hours this month, and the channel got over 116,000 impressions, with 47.8% of those impressions coming from YouTube. And excitingly, in this monthly period, we got 40 new subscribers. Moving on to lifetime analytics, we are now at just over 289,000 views overall, and shy of 18,500 watch hours for the lifetime of the channel. Since inception, we've now got 2.9 million impressions, and 38.3% of those impressions are coming from YouTube. And overall, we are at 1,610 subscribers. Doing some reflections month to month, I think it was a pretty strong month. Despite not posting any shorts, we did amass way more views and way more watch hours than last month. We also hit a 6-figure number for impressions, which is not an all-time record for the channel, but it's definitely one of the top entries for sure. The only stat that decreased was the impressions from YouTube percentage, and it did go down a little bit, but it's still close to 50%. Like anything really over 45%, I'm going to count as a win, period. So yes, that is worse than last month, but I still think it's a great number. And we got 40 new subscribers this month, and we got 39 last month, so it is technically slightly better than last month. I mean, it's approximately the same, honestly, but those are 2 really strong back-to-back months for me, especially in a time where I think canonically you hear a lot of other creators talk about like January being so slow and like the ad revenue being terrible in January. Apparently that's a thing. I think maybe if you're a large channel, you feel that. For me being such a small channel, I don't really notice. But yeah, this has been such a nice surprise, honestly. And lifetime, we're nearing some pretty cool milestones. We're getting close to 300,000 views a lifetime and 18,500 watch hours. Plus next month, we will almost surely hit 3 million impressions. And we are now over 1,600 subscribers, so that was definitely a surprise to me. I did not think that we would hit that mark this soon. I'm very grateful for everyone who has interacted with the channel, comments down below, likes the videos, subscribes, rings the bell, turns notifications on, shares with friends, all those things. It really genuinely does help. For revenue this past month, we are estimated of making just a bit over $72. That's about $21 for every 1,000 ad views, or about $8 for every 1,000 views in general. Lifetime revenue is now just over $700. This equates to shy of $18 for every 1,000 ad views, or a little bit over $2 for every 1,000 views in general. And here you can see revenue earned for the past 6 months. Again, January was very strong for me, which is not something I was expecting at all. I definitely think the timeliness of the Disney Vacation Club content helps, but again, you just hear about January being awful in terms of the advertiser rates for most creators, and I think just because I'm a small channel, I am shielded from that. But yeah, for anyone not in the know and curious, and admittedly, I am very fully not in the know, but advertisers kind of bid on placing their ads on videos. I don't think it's like per individual video by any means, but anyway, the amount that advertisers are putting in January, I guess, is much lower than like November when they're trying to sell all their things leading into the holiday season. That's just to say, seeing January being such a strong month for me is surprising, and I remain grateful. And we are at month 48, so we are at year 4 of the channel. Let's do some additional stats and look at year over year. In year 4, we got about 130,000 views. You can see in the bars on this chart that the views have been steadily increasing every year. Then the line graph is showing you the percent change year to year. That first data point in the line graph is then the percent change from year 1 to year 2. In year 3, we had 70% more views compared to year 2, and that number is not as good comparing year 4 to year 3. We're down to only about a 40% increase, but honestly, that still feels pretty good to me. Obviously, you would love to see these things like double or triple, whatever, but realistically, there's only so much of an audience that's going to be interested in the type of content I make, and especially the style I make. I made the very conscious choice to move fast, assume that you can keep up, not baby you, not necessarily hold your hand through everything. It comes at you hard. It assumes a competency level. It's definitely not for everyone, and I know that. So I'm not saying there's necessarily a ceiling that I will hit or I have already hit, but I certainly understand that once my numbers are getting to be good or better, I'm not gonna get 100% change year over year anymore. The jumps from year 1 to year 2 were really exciting, and of course seeing that slow down dramatically since then can be a bummer, but I'm just trying to keep a realistic lens of it's very niche content delivered in a very niche style. I gotta keep realistic expectations. For watch hours this year, we got just under 6,300 total watch hours. This is actually extremely similar to last year. It's wild to me how close these are. It's about a 2% increase year over year, which is disappointing, I would say. But at least we're keeping pace. We might not be making gains, but at least we're not falling behind. I would like to see this improve. I think it is tricky. The shorts help with views a lot, but obviously aren't helping with watch hours hardly at all. And then generally speaking, the average view duration for my video content is somewhere in the 3 to 4 minute range. If it's a longer video with more, useful information, sometimes it's more like 6 or 7 minutes, but I can make a 20-minute video, and on average, people leave it 5 minutes in. And if I make an 8-minute video, on average, people are leaving it 3 or so minutes in. So yeah, I think that there are definitely people who sit and watch almost all, if not all, of the content that's posted, but there are a lot of people who probably click on it, wait 20, 30, 40 seconds, realize I'm not for them, and click away. To be honest, other than posting a lot more, I don't really know how to make the stat meaningfully increase. And I'm not in the position right now to post a lot more. Essentially, I'm just not going to dwell on this. I'm happy that we're keeping pace. I would like to see it increase, but we're just going to keep plucking along. In year 4, we got just under 1.2 million impressions. This is about a 27% increase compared to year 3. This I'm happy with, no complaints. I'm sure that there are always better ways to get the YouTube algorithm to notice you more, but I think this is a pretty good increase year over year. And really excitingly for me, in year 4, my impressions from YouTube stat was 45.6%. That's compared to under 40% last year, so again, I do think that this is a pretty meaningful increase and it is helping drive traffic to the channel. And overall in year 4, we got 455 subscribers. On its own, that's not a bad number. I'm very happy with it. That's over 1 a day, which is really all I ever ask for. That being said, in year 3, we did get 443 subscribers, so essentially it's a wash. And in year 2, we got 442 subscribers, so for 3 years in a row now, I'm in this like mid 400 subscriber number. This is definitely something I would like to learn. How can I break through this and like really make progress? But again, this is a hobby. It's something I do for fun. I really don't have like the mental capacity to stress out about making these numbers better. Again, I'm glad that we're keeping pace and it's not plummeting. And last, for the year-over-year look, we will talk about revenue, but there is a big asterisk here. For year 4, I was accumulating revenue for that entire yearly period. Year 3 is when I became eligible to start earning revenue. That happened, I believe, in October of 2022, and then the yearly stats end in February. So really, the year 3 revenue stat is less than half a year total. In year 3, I made about $180, and in year 4, I made $525. Obviously, this is a huge jump, but again, that's comparing an entire year compared to a chunk of a year, so not a very fair comparison. But still fun to see overall. If there's any other stats you'd like to see for year over year, or just the month, or lifetime, always let me know in the comments down below. I might not integrate it into every video, but happy to shoot you a comment and let you know what's up. Plus, if you have any ideas about getting my watch hours up and my subscriber number up without necessarily posting a ton more videos, I am absolutely open to it. I do also really want to avoid a category of videos that I would consider clickbait, whether that's the topic of the video or the way that like the video title and thumbnail are formatted. Like, I don't want to sensationalize anything. That's just not who I am. Or if I made the titles like more splashy and misleading, that I could probably get more clicks. But again, like, I'm mostly trying to build a community here of people who I respect and trust and want to talk to. And so the clickbait thing's not for me. But if you do have other ideas, I am all ears. Thanks for coming on that yearly look back with me. And now we are on to year 5. Here's probable content for the upcoming month. You likely have already seen the Hilton Grand Vacations Club at SeaWorld room tour. I believe that should have posted probably before this video. Then I have a vlog from our Volcano Bay day from October 2023 trip coming up. I also do plan to post the year 4 celebration Q&A video at some point too. Past that, I'm not too sure. I don't have anything edited and ready at the moment. We are sort of working our way through the vlog content, so basically footage I took from the trip. This could include things like we did go to Dead Coconut Club, which was a fun themed bar during the Halloween time. We also ate at Vivo Italian Kitchen, which is probably one of my favorite meals down in the theme park area in Florida. Maybe I'll make a video for that. But yeah, I just really haven't had the time to sit down and go through footage and start editing, etc. Much less like upload and caption it and like get it ready to post, so I'm not too sure. Plus, as we've talked about in prior monthly creator updates, I do still have this video planned for talking about what's a swap for Universal with your Disney Vacation Club points, which is essentially an advertising term that I think a couple of DVC like resale/rental places are using. Yeah, most likely it'll be vlog content. Can't make any promises right now. And I did touch on this in the last monthly creator update. It kind of remains true now. Like, there might be a pause or delay. I might miss a week. I have been very, very slammed at work and just haven't had time to put into the channel that I would prefer. Plus, I am having a minor health procedure in this monthly period, so that's going to take me out for a bunch of days, maybe longer. I'm not too sure if I'll be able to edit during that time, honestly. So if you do see a delay, just know I'm still around. I plan to continue the channel. I just might need some time to lay low and catch up. As always, thank you for your patience while I learn to balance my work and my hobbies and, life circumstances come up. I'm filming this before the Super Bowl. If you care about the Super Bowl, I hope it went the way you want. I don't like either of these teams, but I'm excited for the snacks. And overall, of course, I hope your February is going well and you are staying safe, happy, and healthy. Thanks so much for watching. May the rest of your day be magical, and we'll see you real soon at Pixie Dust PhD.